Hey, I'm Ranjan Kumar, and I'm back again with my part two of the video of the video which I made on irrational confidence. And there's something I wanted to speak in continuation of what I shared in my previous video. Well, if you have not watched my previous video on irrational confidence, I would highly recommend you watch that video, and this video would make better sense on the topic of irrational confidence. This video was inspired from the article that Steve Hardison shared with me on how a player could be irrationally confident and be creating the results and success on the outside. And the research studies made on him proved that the most important factor, the secret behind his success, was his irrational confidence. The confidence that does not cannot be proved logically, but something was working so magically from inside him that was making him so confident, which was not depending on something outside. And here's what I have to say, share in this video. On the one side, if the irrational confidence depends upon you being aware, well, these are my insights that I'm sharing. On the one side, I feel that your irrational confidence depends upon you being aware of the two significant facts of life: that you are alive, and the second fact of life, that you will die. When you are consciously aware of these two facts of life, that you are alive itself is a miracle. It's a magic which many of millions of people would have been deprived by now of, and will be deprived tomorrow. And you're so fortunate that you are still alive, you are still experiencing this life, and you have got this opportunity to work on the possibilities that you can create just because you're alive. You can work on yourself, you can work on your game, you can work on your expertise, you can work on your skill, you can work on your relationships, you can work on your every aspect of your life. When you come to terms with this fact, when you accept the fact that you are alive, and it's nothing less than a magic, unless you take this for granted. The second fact of life which I shared was that you will die, and it's the truth of life. Death is that undeniable fact that we take for granted. We cry for someone who is not with us today. We mourn, and we experience that feeling of missing them so much so that we miss the connection with our life for a few days, and then we get back to life as if it's normal, and that it's not going to happen with us. But the truth of life is that death is an undeniable reality, which is going to touch us at one point in life. And we are so scared of doing all that is possible for us. Deep down we realize that it's possible for us, but then we are so scared of something on the outside, we think. And we are so scared of declaring ourselves, we are so scared of creating ourselves, we are so scared of putting our message out into the world, thinking that I'm not enough, or believing that I'm not enough, and waiting for somebody's permission to allow us to be more of who we are. So this was one side of the story. The second side of the story is, which I want to share in this video, is that irrational confidence is also a result of where do you draw your authority from. And when you understand where does your authority comes from, when you work on where your authority comes from, probably you will be much more confident in creating what you want to create than waiting for somebody's permission to let you do and let you be who you want to actually be in this world and life. And the three aspects that I realize and I want to share with you about drawing your authority from are: when you dive deep into your authentic authority that comes from the awareness that you build on who you are being, and who you are creating. And if you if you take some time and ponder on these three questions and meditate on them and find your own answers for these three questions, probably that is where you draw your authentic authority from. And if you're drawing your authority from your awareness of who you are, the question is, who are you as a person? Who are you in the moment? And if you stand in front of your mirror and ask yourself, who are you as a person? What's the answer that you will be getting? I was talking to a client of mine and I asked him, who are you? And he couldn't speak for more than 30 seconds and he was 33 years old. And I asked him, like, my dear friend, you have lived for 33 years on this planet, and when somebody asks you, who are you, you do not have an answer that you can answer even for 33 seconds, or probably you aren't even confident about what you are expressing yourself as on this planet, and what have you been creating, and who have you been all these years on this planet. And this is very true, not about just him, but about me also. When I was getting coached by my coach, and my coach asked me, like, Ranjan, if I ask you, who are you, what will your answer be? And I started talking about something that I created on the outside, but I was not able to share who I am as a person. So the first question that I would want you to ponder on and see how you can draw your authority from your awareness of who you are as a person. And the second question is who you are being in the moment, because who you are is most probably the result of the past on you, the beliefs that you had in the past, and all the ways that you created yourself is what is manifested as who you are today and in this moment. So who you are is not a result of your present, your moment, your this moment, because who you are is a result of your past and all the beliefs that you were holding and all the truths that you believed in. That's what created who you are as a person. The second factor that I would want you to meditate on is who you are being. Who are you being in the moment? And who you are being in the moment is a result of your choices in the moment, because it's your choices in the moment that decide what you are going to, that help you decide what you are going to do with what you have in the moment. And what you are going to decide now is going to help you create what you want to create in your future. And the question is, are you drawing your authentic authority from who you are? Are you even aware of who you are being in the moment? And when you start becoming conscious of who you are being in the moment, that is when you take charge of yourself and your being. And the third factor that I would want you to ponder on and meditate on is who you are creating for the future. And who you are creating for the future is always depends upon who you're being in the moment, and your commitment to who you want to be and who do you need to be in order to create the you that you want to experience in the future. And in order to create the you that's going to create the results and manifest the results on the outside in the future time. So the question is, where are you drawing your authority from? Are you drawing your authority from your qualification? Are you drawing your authority from your certifications? Are you drawing your authority from your workshops? Are you drawing your authority from your past successes? Or are you drawing your authority from who you are and who you are being and who you are creating for the future? I think when you dive deep into your own awareness of your being, probably you take full responsibility for who you need to create yourself as to experience the results that you want to experience. And the two more important aspects that can help you draw your authority and own your authority, in fact, will be gratitude for who you are, because who you are has paved your path and brought you to this moment, that you are becoming conscious and more aware of who you are being in the moment and what's possible on the outside if you become committed to who you need to be in order to experience the you that you want to experience, and in order to create the you that will go and create the results that you want to experience in future for yourself, for your loved ones, and for your friends, and for the society. And the second factor is, how committed are you? If the question is, I shared a story with my client this morning while coaching him. I said, that a very long time ago, I was stuck in life. I was feeling very stuck in life, and I would go astrologer to astrologer and asking, when's my good time going to start? I would show him my astrological chart, and the astrologer, one after the other, would recommend me some Indian pujas and some divine ways and all that. But the common thing that everybody would say is that you have a bad time going on, and the time is not favoring you. It's unfavorable to anything that you want to create. And one fine day, I visited an astrologer who was speaking from so much of conviction, and he said that, Ranjan, for the next 3 years, you will not be able to create anything significant in your life, and I can recommend you pujas and all these things, but I strongly believe that the next 3 years of your life, it's better you don't do anything. You just don't do anything, and anything you do, you will be a failure in that, because this time is showing me, your astrological chart is showing me that you will be a failure in anything that you start in the next 3 years. And I so much believed in him that I went back home and I told my parents that I don't want to do anything in the next 3 years. I was very young then. I was energetic. I was knowledgeable. I had committed long hours of meditation and inner work by then. I had read hundreds of books by then. I had experienced the life of a monk in my spiritual life. Oh, and this happened after all these years. And I suddenly believed in that astrologer who was not giving me permission to be more of who I am and explore more of life in the next 3 years. And I got stuck. I so much believed in him because I was seeking his permission. And since he did not give me permission, I did not give me permission. And I stayed stuck for the next 3 years. I didn't do anything. I started looking out for petty jobs, and anybody trying to convince me the other ways and showing me that, you're so talented, you're so good, and you can possibly do something better, and you can possibly explore bigger things in your life. For the 3 years, my answer would be the same, that my time is bad and I'm committed not to change, because I don't want to explore, I don't want to fail. And you know what? The 3 years went by and I was just there, and later on I realized that, oh my God, those 3 years were very precious. I could have been more of who I am. I could have explored many bigger things in life, which I explored after 3 years. The only difference was that I was waiting for somebody's permission to give me the authority to create what I want to create in my life. And I was not drawing upon my authentic authority. I was not owning my authority of having invested hundreds of hours in practicing what I practiced. I was not drawing upon my authority from my own experiences in life that I had created even 10 years before that. I was not drawing my authority from the amazing books that I had read even for the last prior 10 years. And I was drawing my authority from somebody's words on the outside, instead of drawing my authority from my own investment of time, energy, and attention. That's so great when you go back and when you even put on paper how much of time have you invested, how many hours have you invested in learning the skill and mastering the skill that you are very good at today, how much of money have you invested into yourself, how much of attention have you invested, how many of connections have you created in your life, and what all learnings have you created which make you more wiser and more brilliant than last 2 years or last 3 years, and you can never be the same person. Do you realize the fact? I told him, Do you realize the fact that life can never be static? Do you hear me? Life can never be static. It's always dynamic. And I have been realizing more and more of this fact that I cannot be same. Life cannot be same because we are in a flow of life. And before you know, you will be different. Then why not be different in a way that makes you unique and special, and you own your authority from acknowledging your own investment into your life, into your being. How much of you know, if you can even take some time to ponder up how much of investment you have done into yourself. That is where you need to draw your authority from. That is where you need to draw your confidence from. And that is what makes you believe in yourself more than others can believe in yourself. And others' belief in you is like a garnish on the food, but the food is actually prepared from your efforts. You created it. Your commitment created it. Your action created it. And if you can make this simple, I don't say easy, but simple psychological shift of owning your authority from becoming more and more aware of who you are, who you are being, and who you are creating, and being grateful to all that you have learned so far because of what happened in the life, all that happened in your life, which has made you more learned and wiser today, so that you can go out and share your message and help people, because there will be somebody who will be waiting for this message and they'll be grateful that you did it. And also drawing upon your authority, authentic authority, from acknowledging your own investment of your time, energy, and attention that you have invested into your own self, into creating the results that you have created. I think this is going to be the reservoir, the foundation of making you irrationally confident that you can go out and speak out your message and be service to this world, because who you're being for yourself is also a service to this universe. I hope you are going to explore this and share your experience with me. Love you. Thank you. And I am committed to share more and more of my learnings and my insights on being more of who you can be and who you are being, and also about the possibilities that we are creating and we can create together to help you become an authentic influencer. I would invite you to subscribe to my channel for more and more videos on such kind of insights. I'm waiting for you to share your experience as well. Thank you. Bye-bye. Love you.